Oh gosh. Hey, how's it going? So today what we're going to be doing is doing a review of this case in the background. This is the Silverstone SETA A1, and we've already built into it. I built into it earlier, so I can obviously just give you a quick review of what this case is going to be like, how hard it was to obviously build in, what the price is, that sort of thing, and then obviously showing you what it looks like with the components in here. So let's start off with this case. So if we zoom in, actually we're going to switch cameras. Try that one. Alright, so you can see a little bit of me here. No, I don't want that camera. Hold up. There we go. So at the top, as you can see, at the top of this case, we've got some ports. So let me just zoom in right now. Nice and close if you're on mobile. So we've got a power button here, we've got a reset button, we've got a headphone jack, 3.5mm, but we don't have a microphone jack on the top, but we've got two USB 3s on the top. And then we've got a Type-C here as well, and a hard drive indicator as well, and a little glossy sticker. And then obviously on the top, we've got a filter. So if I pull this back, this is a magnetic filter. And it just comes away, no problem. And got the grill there, it's all white as well. And then we've got the slots there as well for the radiators and fans. So let's talk about that real quick. So on the top, you'll be able to put a 140mm on the top and also a 240 radiator. You will not be able to put a 280 on the top, but you'll be able to put a 140 radiator on here, a 120 radiator or a 240 radiator, and two fans, 140 or two 140 fans or two 120 fans. And if I go to the back, because it's getting heavy now. So on the back of this case, you can see that there's a slot, there's the fan here, and this fits a 120 on the back, and we've got like 2.5 centimeters of space where you can move it up and down, no problem. IO bracket on the back there. This is an old school motherboard to see how well this case would obviously perform, and it does perform pretty well because we're going to talk about that anyway. But anyway, we've got 7 slots for obviously PCI, and this graphics card is a GTX 1050 Ti, and it takes up 2 slots there. Obviously room for your power supply, and on the side here as well you can have your graphics card on the showing it off all the RGBs and the spectacular display it can do if you've got a gigabyte graphics card. But it doesn't come with the ribbon that obviously has to connect to a PCI slot to have it so it's facing up front ways. This is what it looks like on the front of the case. Let me, which way? Yeah, that way looks perfect. So as you can see, there's a shroud. Let me take this off so we can have a look. So I've got 2 thumb screws on the side. I'm going to take them off. These are not captive thumb screws, so I'll just pull it off. Tempered glass on the front with obviously a base or frame around the glass. It looks slightly tinted as well. Might be about 15% tint. No sound dampening on the edges or anything like that. Down there. So inside the case, let's zoom in a little bit. No, not that far actually, that's a little bit close. Right, let me change this camera over to... Right, not at the bottom. There we go. Right, now you can see it better. You should be able to anyway. So you can see there's a slot here, and this is where you can put a 360 on the front of this case. You can put a 360 on the front of this case. on the front here, 240, a 280 and a 120 if you want to. It's up to you when you want to put in there. You've got the Shroud. The Shroud is nicely cut out as well for the power supply, so heat rises, heat will come out the top. And then we've got the front of the case as well, which is a rose gold. And this is obviously the Silverstone's nice little case. And to get the front off, you hold down the bottom here and you pull, like so. And the cables are attached for the RGBs on the front. And I'm going to be showing you this on as well. I'm having a bit of problems. There we go. And yeah, as you can see, there's got some gigantic fans in the front. So they include two 200mm fans, and these are DC fans, and you can obviously still kind of control it in the motherboard, in the BIOS, but it's not PWM. But it's a nice addition because they're going for cool air from the top of the case and cool air for the intake at the bottom. And then what they're doing is it's just going to have this mass effect, and it's going to exhaust at the top, which I'm going to show you in a sec. The front is aluminium, so it's nice and solid. Here's a bit of a fingerprint magnet. It's got the Silverstone logo at the bottom. We're going to show you what that looks like later on. I'm going to show you the cable management. I'll just put it together really quickly. There. So I'm going to take off 2 thumb screws on the side as well, and these still ain't captive thumb screws. It should be quite easy for a beginner to obviously use this case as well, which we're going to talk about later on as well. So I can't even get the side off now. So basically you just got to pull from the back. No sound dampening inside at all. So it's just fresh, little flex test, nothing really there. And as you can see, I've done a little bit of cable management. They've got a Silverstone box here. Let's see, there you can see that nicely. There. So you see right here, this Silverstone box here, so you can control your RGBs. They include this in the case, as well as the box that can connect to your other RGBs, which are 5 volt. So this doesn't work with 12 volt. And this button also can work if you take the side panel off. But if you don't want to take the side panel off, then you can obviously use the button and obviously connect it via a reset switch, which is a cable that you connect from the I/O from the front of the case, and then obviously you normally plug that in your motherboard, but you can plug it into this box here. And I've plugged mine in at the top of this box here, and now I don't have to use this button or take the side panel off. I can just do it from the reset switch on the top of the case. Now if I go back a little bit, you can see there's so much space there, just like for AMD's obviously got slightly bigger than Intel, because Intel's square, AMD's like longer. They got a nice cut out side there, no bits to cut your hands, loads of cable routing and tidying and stuff like that. On the back here you can see we've also got 2 SSD plates here, and these are captive thumb screws on top, and it was quite simple to put them in. So we've got 2 here. I've only just put one in there so I can show you what it kind of looks like. Then obviously you can see there's a plethora of room for the power supply as well. So I don't know if I can, yeah, I can get that in there nicely. Right, so you can see there's this is like obviously a third-party power supply, and it fitted in there nicely. It's nice, nice and big. It was a little bit tight, but it still got in there pretty well. As you can see as well, we do have drives as well for 2.5 mechanical hard drives or 3.5-inch mechanical hard drives. So what's up everyone? How's everyone doing? Yeah, so we've got screws as well, and we can take this out, and then we don't have to have it in. If you've got NVMEs, you can have more space or a power supply and all that sort of stuff. It's up to you. And you obviously can have a 360 radiator and route all the cables through the side there. And we've got all of these routing points everywhere on this case. You can see there's so many routing spots. So one there, one there, one there, one there. And you can't see the top there. Yeah, you can. EPS connector, or your 4 pins that go to the top there, or what's it called? It's called a connector. I can't remember what it's called now. I ain't done this in so long now. Anyway, got all the cables and it's easily routed through. This is what I've done so a newbie can easily do this. And this is what the inside of the case looks like. Now, this is slightly different because if we look at, what are we looking at? Yeah, as you can see down the bottom here, this is where the cable looks a bit funny, but on a new motherboard, you would have the USB 3 on the side. So you have USB 3 up here. That's where you would have USB. What's going on here? Let's focus on that. There we go. Let me pull this out a little bit. So you would have USB 3 coming out of here because this is what the new motherboards would be. This is slightly an older generation. This is working with the Ryzen 3 processor, but USBs 3s are down here. Makes the cable look a bit that doesn't look very tidy. So the motherboard's slightly a little bit different. Plus it's not as big as a normal standard ATX motherboard. So if I go back a little bit, you can see that it is not a standard ATX motherboard size. It's slightly a little bit thinner. But yeah, then we've got the GTX 1050 Ti in there, the fractal design S24 in there as well, which is RGB, and then you also get a 140mm fan. Which way do we want this? We want that way. Yeah, there we go. We've got a 140mm fan that comes with it. 120 and two 200mm fans to the front. Oh my god, it's crazy. Right, let's turn this thing on. Oh no, I've lost my screws. So you can see what it looks like. That way. So I'm just going to turn it on. Power button. And as you can see, that little green light right here. And now I'm going to swap cameras over. It's beautiful, hey? Woo! So now I've got a third-party AIO cooler with this case, which is Silverstone. As you can see, the colour of the lights. This motherboard supports RGB, but 4-pin, and this is a 5V connected to the RGB. So all I need to do is press the top of the reset button, and I can change all the colours at will. And I could change that as well, but I think I've disconnected it somehow. Yep, I've disconnected it. So what I'm going to do is just turn it off real quick so you can see everything changing colour together. It just takes a few seconds because obviously I've already connected it, but I rewired it a little bit hard. Alright, so let's see. And then I should be able to change the colours. There we go. Yeah, so you can get it synced straight off the case. That's because Silverstone include that little box, so it's really, really useful. So I'm quite happy about that. And as you can see, how much space you've got in there. So we've got a GTX 1050 Ti, a smaller ATX motherboard, but we can go up to a full-size normal ATX motherboard, mini ITX and micro ATX, and obviously a smaller ATX, thinner ATX motherboard. We can fit third-party products in here. These fans are slightly thicker on this radiator as well, which is the thicker version. So I'm happy with that it fitted in really well. Plus it's an old school motherboard and it just fits in really well. Plus the power supply is more old school as well, and that fitted in really well. The fans are gigantic and there's so much cool air. Now I'm going to just turn this over to the front of the case, and I'm going to turn the light off so you can actually see it properly. Oh no, my lights, what's my lights doing? Right, that's good enough, you can see that. Surely, I should turn off the other light. Right, so, as you can see, it looks pretty delicious. Let me bring it over here a little bit, there we go. And then we're going to get it in focus. So that's what that looks like there. If I spin it out and then lift it up, that's what it looks like from the front. And then I can just change the colours whenever I want to. And it moves as well. Can you see it moving? That's crazy. And then it also obviously works in sync. Whatever I'm doing on here on the side. So it works all together. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, I'm liking this case. So let's talk more about this case so we can figure it out. So I'm gonna put it here, and now you can actually see the size of it. This is a MIDI case as well. We're gonna also talk about the price. Now, would I buy this case? I would buy this case. It's really unique. I can feel so much cool air from the front. And this is stock. So I haven't really done anything to it, and you can hear it right now that it's like whisper quiet, and you've got these big fans on the front, which I'm gonna plonk open again. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it from the side, aren't I? Oh gosh. Hope I ain't broke anything. No, we're good. Right, you can see how big these fans are. They're gigantic. So you can't really hear much with these big fans, but you can imagine how much air these are going to be able to bring into. The only thing is, what I'm a bit worried about is we've got this chicken wire for a grill right now. Which camera? That one. So if I zoom in, can you see? It's very chicken wire, like very thin. So I'm wondering how air is going to pass through this so easily. So I'm going to have to test that and obviously go through that. But inside you can see what it looks like as well. It's just rose, it's aluminium, it's like really nice. It's cold as well. So it's like a cold plate, that's how I can look at it as. Cool air coming from the bottom and the top, and then exhausting from the top as well. It's plastic at the front, around the sides, but just metal on the actual front. And is it easy for someone that's a noob, that's looking for a case? Would they be able to use it? Yes, they would. I like the fact that I can it's got the instructions on the front, and it tells you how to pull it off, no problem whatsoever. Cable management only took me like 10 minutes to do. I'm just going to turn this off for a sec. Right. Boom. So on the case, cable management only took me about 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. To put together, so it's not even that long really. It looks quite nice and tidy and stuff like that. Plus got the Silverstone box there and there. Yeah, you can put a couple of SSDs, or you can. So let's talk really quickly what you can do with it. So you've got a filter on the bottom, the filter on the front. You've got a filter on the bottom, which is here. Da 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 da. And then we've got a filter inside the front, which I already showed you, and then obviously the filter on the top, which I've already showed you, which is magnetic. And then we've got two 3.5 or 5.25 inch mechanical hard drives that can fit two 3.5 inch mechanical hard drives, or 2.5 mechanical hard drives, or two SSDs. And then altogether we could have 4 SSDs or 4 2.5 inch mechanical hard drives. We don't get any rubber grommets for vibrations or anything like that, so you have to invest in that as well. Obviously you get all of this routing for cables and stuff like that, and a big cutout for your retention bracket for a CPU air cooler or AIO cooler. We can only put in at the top a 240 maximum, we can't put a 280. The radiator I got in there is a fractal design one, and it's quite fixed as a third party, and you went in there no problem whatsoever. Plus you don't get a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is here. Where is it? You only get a headphone jack, you don't get a microphone jack. Let me focus on that. Which is weird, I don't know why they've done that, but that's what they've done. But I like on the back of the case, it's very new, quite modern, very nice looking. Ergonomics, it looks stylish. Got 7 expansion slots on the back there, plus you got the slots there if you want to add your graphics card in the front. 120 on the back, got nice, plenty of room to move back, up and down. Yeah, so this case is going to have a decent amount of airflow because of those big fans. Don't know whether to just hold it there so you can see it a little bit more clearer. Alright, so I'll put it back on so you can have a look. But yeah, I would buy this case because I like the fact of how it looks. It just looks really nice. It's just nice. It's easy to build in. 2 things you're gonna have a problem with. If you put in AIO first, obviously make sure that your RAM is small enough at the top because it has to go behind the fans, and also the EPS connectors at the top there, which is your 2 4-pin connectors for the voltage. It's going to be really hard. You're going to have to obviously take this out, then put it in there, but I managed to get it in there, and I've got medium to large hands. But I just wanted to do it like a noob to see if there's any problems with like how you build it, and I didn't really have any problems at all. So I'm really happy with it. Plus you can use an old school motherboard and it still work and it fits in there, but it's just not as aesthetically pleasing as how I would like it, but it's still quite nice. So let's talk about the price real quickly. Right, so where's the price? What did I do with the price? There we go. So the price for this is £99.98. So if you wanted to get this right now from today, let me zoom out my face. If you wanted to get this today, or not today, if you wanted to order it today, Saturday the September the 12th, the fastest delivery is Saturday, September the 5th. So order within 5 hours, 30 minutes. Only 3 in stock. So it also comes in black, and I think comes in another colour as well. But yeah, this is £99.98. Now, how can you go wrong with this? I don't know. It's such a beautiful looking case. But anyway, that is going to be the end of this. It's going to be the end of talking about this case because obviously it's quite nice and stuff. I might do another follow-up video and then obviously talk about how the cool air works and how it's exhausted the hot air. But it's only a GTX 1050 Ti in there at the moment. I've got 16 gigs of RAM. I've got a Ryzen. I don't even know what Ryzen chip that is. That might be a Ryzen 7 something in there. But yeah, I'll just put it together so you can see what it looked like. It's nothing really about the components as much. But like, I think we've got a maximum room as well for a graphics card is 300 as well, depending on however you're building this. So if you put a 360 on the front, I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be always great to put it on the top so you can exhaust that heat from the top, no problem. And then from the front of the case, you've got all that intake as much as possible. We've got like near enough about 1 centimetre and a little bit of room at the bottom and at the top so you can get that cool air through and through to the back. But anyway, thanks for watching you guys, and it's Roger and out. If you want to ask any questions, you can ask questions. I'm going to probably use YouTube stories to answer them, okay? Thank you, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching, Roger and out. Peace.